The sterile beep of the heart monitor pierced the silence like a knife, each pulse a reminder that my 5-year-old son Tommy was under the knife without a single soul from our so-called family by my side. I sat in the hospital waiting room, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like angry hornets, casting harsh shadows on the linoleum floor that reeked of bleach and despair. My hands trembled as I clutched my phone, scrolling through unanswered texts. Surgery starts at 8 a.m. Please come. Sent to Mom, Dad, my sister Emily, even my brother-in-law who'd always promised to be the cool uncle. Nothing. Not a call, not a visit. The surgeon had emerged an hour ago, his mask dangling around his neck, eyes weary but reassuring. He's stable. Tumor's out. He'll wake soon. But as I stared at the empty chairs around me, chairs that should have held my parents' worried faces, Emily's fidgeting hands, I felt a fury ignite in my chest, hot and unrelenting like acid burning through my veins. How could they abandon us like this? Tommy, with his wide blue eyes and laughter that could melt stone, fighting for his life, and they couldn't even show up? I paced the room, the rubber soles of my sneakers squeaking against the floor, my mind a whirlwind of denial and rage. It wasn't just absence. It was betrayal etched into every ignored message. Growing up, I'd been the family's anchor, the one who dropped everything for them. When Dad's business tanked 5 years ago, I loaned him $15,000 from my savings, no questions asked. When Emily got engaged last year, I organized her bridal shower, footing the bill for the venue because family helps family, as Mom always preached. And Tommy. They doted on him until the diagnosis. Medulloblastoma, a brain tumor that turned our world upside down. Chemo sessions where I'd held his tiny hand alone, nights of vomit and tears with no relief from them. "We're praying for you," Mom had said over the phone, her voice distant, like she was reading from a script. Praying. Where were their prayers now, in this godforsaken room? My phone buzzed, jolting me from the spiral. A text from Mom. "Hey sweetie, hope Tommy's okay. Need $10,000 for Emily's wedding. Venue deposit due tomorrow. Can you transfer? Love you." I stared at the screen, the words blurring through hot tears. 3 days after the surgery. 3 days of me sleeping in a hospital chair, feeding Tommy Joe through chapped lips, whispering stories to drown out his whimpers, and this was her first contact? Not "how is he?" Not "we're coming over." Just a demand for money, as if my son's life was a footnote to their extravagance. Humiliation washed over me, mingling with the heartbreak. I was the forgotten one, the reliable wallet they tapped when convenient. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, typing and deleting furious responses. "Go to hell." Delete. "After what you did." Delete. Instead I replied, "Sure, Mom. I'll see what I can do." The lie tasted bitter, but in that moment something shifted, a cold resolve hardening like ice over the fire of my anger. They thought I was weak, the pushover brother. But no more. Back home that evening, the apartment felt cavernous without Tommy's toys scattered everywhere. He'd been discharged with a clean bill for now, though follow-ups loomed like storm clouds. I tucked him into bed, his small body curled under the blankets, bandages peeking from his shaved head. "Daddy, where's Grandma?" he murmured, eyes heavy with pain meds. I forced a smile, stroking his cheek. "She's busy, buddy. But we're okay." Inside, resentment festered. Busy with what? Emily's wedding. The one she'd bragged about on social media. Lavish venue in the hills, designer dress, guest list of 200. I'd seen the posts, the likes pouring in from strangers while my pleas for support went unread. That night sleep evaded me. I lay in the dark, the city hum outside my window a distant roar, my mind racing through fantasies of justice. What if I showed up at the wedding uninvited, microphone in hand, spilling every ugly truth? "Ladies and gentlemen, while you toast the bride, remember her nephew who almost died alone." The thought brought a twisted satisfaction, but doubt crept in. Was I really that person? The one who shattered family illusions? Guilt gnawed at me. Tommy needed stability, not a war. But as I scrolled through old photos, Holidays where I was always in the background, smiling through gritted teeth. The obsession grew. They owed me. Not just money but dignity. The next morning, over bitter coffee that scalded my tongue, I called Emily. The phone rang 4 times before she picked up, her voice bubbly, laced with that fake enthusiasm she reserved for when she wanted something. "Hey bro. How's Tommy doing? Mom said the surgery went well." I gripped the mug tighter, the ceramic hot against my palm. "He's recovering. Alone mostly. No one came, Em." Pause, then a sigh. "Oh God, I'm so sorry. Things have been crazy with the wedding planning. Dad's been stressed about the costs, and Mom's been running errands non-stop. We meant to visit, but..." "But what?" My voice cracked, anger slipping through. "A text. Call. Nothing. Look, I get it. You're upset. But this wedding is a big deal. It's my dream, you know? And with the deposit due. Mom said you'd help." There it was, the manipulation, smooth as silk. Heartbreak twisted into fury. "Yeah," she mentioned. 10 grand. For a party while my kid fights cancer. "It's not just a party," she snapped, defensiveness creeping in. "It's my life. And you've always been there for us. Family, right?" I swallowed the rage, forcing calm. "Right. I'll transfer it soon." Another lie, but it bought time. Hanging up, I felt the first stirrings of a plan. Not explosive confrontation, that was too messy. Something quieter, more devastating. I'd play along, gather their secrets, then strike where it hurt most. Their perfect image, their finances, their bonds. Over the next week, I dove into reconnaissance. My days a blur of hospital visits and late-night digging. Tommy's laughter returned in spurts. His energy flickering like a faulty bulb. But it fueled my resolve. I hacked into old family emails, passwords unchanged since college, uncovering threads of complaints about me. "He's always so needy with that kid," Mom wrote to Emily. "Can't he handle it himself?" Humiliation burned anew, but I pushed it down, focusing on the wedding details. Vendor contracts, guest lists, even the florist's invoice. They were over budget by thousands, counting on my loan. Inner conflict raged as I plotted. Was this obsession consuming me? Nights I'd stare at the ceiling, fearing I'd become the monster they painted me as. But then Tommy would cry out in pain, and the resentment surged. They deserved this. Subtle hints of my vengeance emerged in small acts. I accidentally liked an old post of Emily's ex, stirring whispers among mutual friends. An anonymous tip to the venue about potential overbooking, delaying their confirmation. Quiet, strategic jabs that built tension without revealing my hand. Emily called once, frantic. "Did you hear? The venue's double booked. What if we lose it?" I feigned sympathy, my voice steady. "That sucks. Need me to call them?" Inside, cold satisfaction bloomed. As the wedding approached, the suspense thickened. Mom texted daily now, her messages laced with urgency. "Any update on the money? Emily's stressing." I replied vaguely, stringing them along. Doubt flickered. Could I really go through with it? But the memory of that empty waiting room, the beep of the monitor echoing in isolation, steeled me. Revenge wasn't just anger. It was reclamation. 2 weeks before the wedding, I wired the money, or so they thought. In reality, I'd set up a traceable account, one that funneled funds through a series of dummy transfers, buying time to expose their greed. The apartment air hung heavy with the scent of takeout pizza, Tommy's favorite, as he colored at the table. His crayons scratching paper with innocent vigor. "Daddy, can we go to Aunt Emily's party?" he asked, eyes bright despite the fatigue lines under them. I ruffled his hair, guilt stabbing sharp. "Maybe, champ." But inwardly I wrestled. Involving him in this vendetta felt wrong, a moral gray area that blurred my resolve. Was my pursuit of justice poisoning us both? Yet the betrayal scar ran deep, festering with every unreturned favor. That evening Dad called, rare for him, his gruff voice crackling over the line like dry leaves. "Son, thanks for the cash. Means a lot. How's the boy? Tommy's fighting, I said, my tone neutral, suppressing the urge to scream. Wish you'd been there. Heavy sigh. We should've. But life. You know, Emily's our baby girl. This wedding's her everything. And Tommy's my everything, I shot back, the words escaping before I could rein them in. Silence stretched, thick with unspoken accusations. Look, Dad, I've got to go. Hanging up, obsession gripped tighter. I delved deeper, using a burner phone to contact vendors anonymously. Posing as a concerned relative, I uncovered padded invoices. Emily's fiancé, Mark, skimming kickbacks from the caterer. Motives layered. Not just entitlement but corruption. Mark, the golden boy banker, had a history of shady deals, buried in public records I'd unearthed online. Moral complexity hit me. Were they all complicit or victims of his influence? But resentment won. They'd chosen him over us. Suspense built in quiet calculations. I attended a pre-wedding brunch, the garden venue alive with chatter and clinking glasses, floral scents cloying in the humid air. Emily hugged me tightly, her perfume overwhelming. You're a lifesaver, bro, couldn't do this without you. I smiled, teeth gritted. Anything for family. But my eyes scanned the crowd, noting alliances, weaknesses. Mom pulled me aside, her face lined with worry under heavy makeup. Everything okay? You seem distant. Just tired, I lied, heart pounding. From the hospital stuff. She nodded, but her eyes darted away, guilt or indifference. The conversation revealed cracks. Dad's health declining, unspoken debts piling up. Layered characters emerged. Mom's overprotectiveness toward Emily stemming from her own failed marriage dreams. Dad's stoicism masking regret. But it didn't soften me. It fueled the fire. Back home, planning intensified. I'd sabotage subtly. Tamper with the wedding registry. Redirect gifts to a charity for pediatric cancer. Anonymous emails to guests. Hinting at family secrets without outright lies. Fear crept in. What if they traced it back? Moral conflict peaked. Was this poetic justice, or descending to their level? The wedding day dawned crisp, the sky a mocking blue as I drove to the venue. Tommy safe with a sitter. Guests milled in tailored suits and flowing dresses, laughter echoing off manicured lawns. I lingered in shadows, watching Emily glide in her gown, radiant yet oblivious. The ceremony unfolded like a film reel, vows exchanged under an arch of roses, petals fluttering in the breeze. Suppressed rage simmered as I slipped away during the reception, heart hammering. In the parking lot, I executed the plan. A prearranged call to the IRS, tips on Mark's undeclared income, backed by documents I'd compiled. Then a viral social media post from a fake account, photos of the lavish event juxtaposed with Tommy's hospital bed caption. While they celebrate, a child's fight goes unnoticed. Family. It spread like wildfire. Guests' phones buzzing mid-toast. Chaos erupted inside. Emily's scream pierced the air as she scrolled her feed, face paling. Who did this? Mom rushed over, phone in hand, eyes wide with horror. Dad slumped in his chair, the weight of exposure crushing him. I approached then, feigning shock. What's going on? Emily whirled, tears streaking mascara. Someone's ruining my day. Posted about Tommy. Like we're monsters. The twist hit as accusations flew. Mark confronted me privately. His polished facade cracking. You. Why? Betrayal, I whispered, cold resolve unbroken. You all chose this over him. But the payoff twisted unexpectedly. As police arrived for Mark, my tip faster than anticipated. Mom collapsed, clutching her chest. Heart attack, the paramedics said. In the ambulance, her weak voice. We were wrong. Forgive us. Guilt crashed over me, obsession shattering into regret. Revenge delivered justice, but at what cost? Tommy's innocent question echoed. Are we okay? As I held Mom's hand, the family fractured yet bound by pain, I realized the true betrayal was my own, letting fury eclipse love. The pursuit ended not in triumph, but in a hollow, psychologically scarred dawn.